Over the last 15 years, I've done a fair amount of live artwork. And one of the most celebrated pieces that I did was a striptease that obviously involved me taking my clothes off, but it also involves me taking off these. The concept was that I'm stripping out of my perceived normality to celebrate my beautiful freakishness, and apparently was considered quite confrontational in its day. I've just been commissioned to make another performance piece. My brief is to respond to representations of disability at various museum exhibitions. The first of which is at the Wellcome Collection. Entitled Superhuman, the exhibition explores the extraordinary way people have tried to improve, adapt, and augment their bodies for practical and artistic purposes. So this is Matthew Barney's work with Amy Mullins, who is the famous double amputee, ex-Paralympian and model. I mean, those are amazing. I don't know if she can stand on them. And there's a picture of her here with cheetah legs on. That's great. Knowing that she's a double amputee and that those are prosthetics that have gone beyond function and into sort of artistic, poetic design, I like that a lot. And I don't think prosthetics have ever been considered as artistic objects or things that you can make into art. It's always been about function. Aha! My people. It's so weird for me, because I actually know these people as adults now. Thalidomide was a morning sickness pill, marketed as a general sedative, a painkiller, but most profoundly it was sort of marketed as the cure for morning sickness. And my mother took it 3 times in 1 week, and this was the result. It was a massive, big pharmaceutical disaster. And there was a mass panic and a need to make it okay. It is a little bit weird for me, seeing these prostheses as exhibits, but I think it's the best use for them. I didn't have to wear any. I remember I went into a room one day and they said, oh, do you want to try one of these arms on? And I thought, well, why would I want to do that? And I put them on, and I was 7 or 8, and they felt uncomfortable, and I didn't like them. Mummy, I don't want to wear them. That's fine, darling, you don't have to. And that was the end of it.
It's really hard for me to explain what it was like to use artificial arms and legs. To me, it was like in some dreams where you know you're there, but you can't actually touch anything. Like I could touch it, but it wasn't me touching. It was like somebody else was touching it, and I was merely an observer.
Wow.
Being on legs, it was like being in suspended animation, and tied
Poor
with
old
these
Terry.
legs, hanging in midair.
But, you know, that's what they thought.
All the time.
Yeah, lucky me that I didn't have to do that. For me, this is human adaptation. This is adapting and surviving. You've got no arms, but you need a cup of tea, so you use your feet. Syphilis could cause the destruction of the nose, giving rise to the formation of no-nose clubs in the 18th century. And this painted silver nose was worn by a woman who'd lost her own to the disease. How weird. It's the Olympic thing, isn't it? It's the technologic enhancement of the sports person. The classic cheetah leg. Oscar Pistorius, famously, has taken to such enhancement that he's Olympian as well as Paralympian. Oh, and it says here, the efficiency and speed of these legs has led to claims that they create an advantage over able-bodied runners. So would there ever become a point where the runner who's desperate to win at any cost will have their legs amputated so that they can wear these and then win the race? So this is a lovely little exhibit. This is the famous eye limb, which is currently the most advanced prosthetic hand in the world. When we were little, we always used to, us thalidomide kids, we always used to think about it, kind of working, and that's the actual thing. Finally invented. Yeah, 2011, so last year. Would I use an eye limb? I don't know. I think they'd have to be a bit better than they are even now, but I could be tempted probably in the future. One of these people isn't real. One of these people is a robot. And it is impossible to tell which one. Amazing. That's one of the nice things about this exhibition. The historical stuff has come true in some cases. That makes you think when you look at, well, that wouldn't be possible. Well, maybe in 25 years' time, it will be possible. Where we've repeatedly seen the most amazing predictions for human advancement has been in the world of science fiction, and especially with comic book characters. You know, many comic book heroes seem to anticipate transhumanism, the application of technology to humans to enhance their abilities, becoming more than human, superhuman, title of the exhibition. I really like the X-Men because they're mutants. They're shunned for their weird, freakish abilities, but actually using their enhanced realities can help society and the human race. You know, they're heroes, shunned for being different. And I like to romanticize that, perhaps. Quite how I'm going to save the world with my hands, I'm not quite sure, but one day, you never know. I've made lots of performance pieces around the nature of being a freak. But maybe for this new commission, I'll concentrate more on the idea of adaptation and even enhancement, especially by disabled people. I'll need to contemplate more what I've seen today, but this has been a great starting point. It's made me think I'd like to research individuals, alive or historical, who've transcended their human condition to become, well, for want of a better word, superhuman.